Success does not come handed to anyone on a silver platter. Real achievement is earned through hard work, patience, and persistence. People often say, you get what you work for, not what you wish for. Another truth is, success is not luck, it is effort in action. We all want to reach our goals and live a fulfilling life, but the path is rarely easy or instant. This video will show you why success is something you build step by step, not something that just happens to you. You will learn how to take control, stay motivated, and keep going even when things get tough. If you want to understand what it really takes to succeed and how to start building your own success story today, you are in the right place. If you're ready to take charge of your future and create the life you deserve, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Focus on daily growth instead of instant results. You know, the world today is fast. Everyone's chasing something: success, recognition, results. But there's a hard truth many people don't want to face. Real success isn't something you wake up with. It's not handed to you. You don't scroll through your phone, find it in a motivational quote, and suddenly become successful. No. Success is built, it's slow, it's tough, and it takes daily work. Not weekly, not monthly, daily. Most people don't struggle because they're not smart. They struggle because they're too focused on instant results. They want to see progress now. They want things to happen fast, but they forget something important. Nothing meaningful happens overnight, and even if it did, it wouldn't last. If you want something real, something that lasts, you need to focus on who you're becoming every single day. The most powerful changes in your life come from what you choose to do with your days, not from what you dream about in the future. If you keep saying you'll change tomorrow, if you keep chasing quick wins, you'll be in the same place year after year. It's the little things you do today that shape the big picture tomorrow. If you're building success, you've got to treat it like building a wall. You lay a brick every day, one by one. Some days the brick won't look perfect. Some days you'll feel like skipping it, but you still show up. You lay it down. You build that wall strong, not fast. Think about how many people start something with energy, with hope. They go to the gym for a week, then stop. They begin a project, get bored, and drop it. Why? Because they wanted fast results. But the results didn't show up fast enough, so they gave up. That's not how success works. That's how disappointment grows. You've got to train your mind to value growth more than achievement. You've got to shift your focus from how fast am I going to am I going in the right direction every day. Real progress isn't always exciting. It's quiet. It's in the decisions you make when no one's watching. It's in those early mornings when you feel like staying in bed, but you get up anyway. It's in those evenings when you're tired, but you choose to learn something new instead of scrolling through your phone for 2 hours. This is about the process, not just the outcome. People get lost chasing outcomes. They want the reward. They want the title, but they skip the work that earns it. Success doesn't show up to people who wait around for it. It visits the ones who are working while others sleep, who are learning while others are complaining, who are moving forward even when they're tired or unsure. And the beauty of focusing on growth is this: it never lies to you. When you choose to grow every day, you don't have to depend on motivation. You don't have to wait for the perfect time. You're already in motion. You start understanding that consistency beats intensity every time. Doing one small thing for yourself each day is more powerful than doing 10 big things once and then quitting. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. That's because they're not thinking long term. They're not thinking about the power of compound effort. If you read 10 pages of a book every day, that's 300 pages a month. That's 12 books a year. That's knowledge. That's wisdom. That's personal growth. If you work out for 30 minutes a day, That's over 180 hours in a year. That's a new body. That's new energy. That's confidence. The results come, but only if you keep going. The key is to tie your identity to the process. Don't say, I want to be successful. Say, I'm someone who grows every day. Because when that becomes part of who you are, you don't need to chase success. It starts chasing you. Now, I'll tell you something personal. I remember a time in my life when I had nothing. I wasn't confident. I wasn't skilled. I wasn't even sure I could succeed. But I had one thing. I had the decision to get better every day. Just one step at a time. I didn't know where it would take me, but I knew I didn't want to stay where I was. So I started. I learned. I practiced. I failed. I improved. And that's when things started changing. Not all at once, but slowly, and for real. If you can master your days, you'll master your life. That's how success is built. It's not given to the people who want it the most. It's given to the ones who show they're ready every single day. It's built in silence, when no one's clapping. It's built when you make choices that don't feel exciting, but you know they're right. It's built when you stop rushing the process and start respecting it. You're not in a race, you're in a process, and that process will reward you if you stay with it. So instead of asking, how can I get there faster, ask, how can I get better today? Instead of looking at someone else's success and feeling frustrated, look at your own path and say, what can I build right now? It takes strength to be patient. It takes courage to keep showing up when the results aren't clear yet. But those are the people who end up winning. Not because they had it easier, but because they stayed with the work. So wherever you are right now, if you feel stuck, if you feel behind, if you feel like it's taking too long, just remember this. You are building something. One day, it's going to make sense. One day, you're going to look back and realize those small steps were not small at all. They were everything. Keep growing. Every day. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because that's when you're doing the real work. That's when you're building something that no one can take away from you. Success is not given, it is built. And the builder is you. Chapter 2. Build strong habits that support your long-term goals. Most people have dreams. They talk about what they want to achieve someday. They imagine the life they could live if everything worked out. But very few are willing to build the structure needed to get there. It's not the goal that separates the successful from the stuck. It's the system, and the strongest systems are built on habits. If you want to go far, you have to start with what you do every day, not just what you wish for once in a while. What you do regularly shapes who you become. Every action you take, whether big or small, sends a signal to your brain. It says, this is what matters to me, and over time, that message becomes your identity. So if you want to build a strong future, it starts with doing things today that match the life you're aiming for. It's not about trying to be perfect. It's about being intentional. That's how habits are formed, with purpose, not pressure. You have to be clear about what matters to you long term. When your goals are vague, your actions are scattered. But when you know exactly what you want to build, your habits start falling into place. And here's the truth. Long-term goals don't need grand gestures. They need small, consistent actions that line up with your vision. Want to be fit? Show up for your workouts even on the hard days. Want to be financially free? Track your spending and save, even when it's not fun. Want to become wise? Read daily, reflect often, and stay curious. Habits are not just routines. They are agreements you make with your future. And every time you follow through, you're telling your future self, I've got your back. But you've got to start simple. Don't try to fix everything at once. Don't overload yourself with 10 changes in 1 week. Pick one thing. Focus on it. Do it until it feels natural. Then add another. That's how real progress is made, not in big bursts, but in small wins that stack up over time. It's easy to get motivated. Maybe you hear a powerful speech or see someone else's success story. You feel fired up, but motivation fades. And when it does, what keeps you going? That's right. Habits. They keep you grounded when your feelings shift, because your emotions will shift. You won't feel strong every day. You won't always feel inspired. But habits don't ask how you feel. They remind you of who you said you want to be. If you want to grow, you need discipline. And discipline isn't about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about creating patterns that serve you even when life gets tough. Think of the habits you already have. Some of them were formed without effort. You brush your teeth. You tie your shoes. You don't have to think about it, it just happens. That same level of automatic action can happen for your bigger goals too, if you build the right system. Ask yourself, what are you doing daily that helps you grow? What actions are moving you closer to the life you want? If you're not sure, take a step back. Look at how you spend your time. Look at your morning, your afternoon, your evening. Every part of your day has space for a habit that brings you forward. You don't need more time, you need more alignment. The people who make real progress are not always the most talented. They're the ones who built a life that supports their future. They set up routines that make good choices easier. They prepare their meals ahead of time. They go to bed early. They block out time for learning. These actions aren't exciting, but they work. And over the years, they build something incredible. It's also important to protect your habits. Don't let your environment pull you backward. If your space is full of distractions, it's going to be hard to stay focused. If the people around you are negative, their energy will rub off on you. You have to guard your growth. That means saying no to things that waste your energy. That means organizing your space, your schedule, and your priorities in a way that reflects what you're really about. It's not just about what you do, it's also about what you don't do. If you're trying to build strong habits, remove the friction. If your goal is to write every morning, don't leave your laptop buried in a drawer. If you want to read at night, keep the book by your bed. Make your good habits easy to start and hard to break. And on the flip side, make your bad habits harder to access. Don't rely on willpower, use strategy, and don't be too hard on yourself when you slip. Everyone misses a day, everyone falls short sometimes. That doesn't mean you failed. What matters is how quickly you come back. One off day won't destroy your progress, but giving up will. So when things don't go perfectly, don't spiral. Don't beat yourself up. Just return to your path. Get back on track and keep building. Remember, habits are a long-term game. They're not meant to impress people. They're meant to support you. They're quiet, steady, and powerful. And over time, they change everything. You don't always see the impact right away, but that doesn't mean nothing's happening. Change is happening underneath, where it's hard to see. Then one day you wake up and realize you've grown. You've improved. You've become someone stronger than you were before. So build with intention. Every habit you form is either helping you rise or pulling you back. Choose habits that match your mission. Create routines that reflect your values. Focus on systems, not just outcomes. Make daily action your priority. Because in the end, success doesn't come from random effort. It comes from structure. It comes from the steady, repeatable actions that line up with your vision. And those actions, they're powered by your habits. So build wisely, build patiently, and keep showing up for your future. It's counting on you. Chapter 3. Take full ownership of every step you take. There's a powerful moment in anyone's journey where the truth hits you hard. No one else is going to do the work for you. The path you walk, every step you take, belongs to you. Full ownership means understanding that your life, your success, your failures, and your progress, everything is your responsibility. This idea isn't about blame, it's about power. When you accept full ownership, you step into a place where you control your direction and your results. Too often, people get caught in the trap of excuses. If only I had better resources. If only the timing was right. If only others supported me. These thoughts might comfort you for a moment, but they strip away your power. When you give your control away to circumstances, you become a passenger in your own life. Real growth comes when you stop blaming what's outside and start focusing on what's inside your control. Taking ownership means looking at your choices with honesty. It means asking yourself difficult questions without running away from the answers. Why did that opportunity slip? What could I have done differently? What am I avoiding? These are uncomfortable questions, but they're necessary, because the answers hold the keys to your next step. The more honest you are with yourself, the more clearly you see the path forward. When you fully own your journey, failure stops being a threat and becomes a lesson. Instead of fearing mistakes, you begin to see them as information. You learn what doesn't work, adjust your approach, and keep moving. This mindset doesn't let setbacks stop you. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. The power is in your hands to decide how you respond, and that makes all the difference. Owning every step also means understanding that progress is not always a straight line. Sometimes you'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Sometimes you'll face delays, distractions, or even setbacks. But the choice to keep moving forward even when it's hard is yours alone. You don't wait for perfect conditions or for someone else to lead the way. You step up and make things happen, even with what you have. Taking full ownership demands discipline. It's easy to be accountable when things go well. It's much harder when things fall apart, yet those are the moments that define you. Owning your results means standing tall when you're tempted to point fingers. It means looking at the mirror and saying, I am responsible for where I am and where I am going. That statement is freeing because it puts the power back in your hands. When you take ownership, you also take control of your mindset. It means choosing how you think about your circumstances. Instead of feeling like a victim, you become the creator of your story. You stop complaining about what life has given you and start deciding what you will do with it. This shift in perspective changes everything. Suddenly, obstacles become challenges to overcome, not barriers that stop you. This ownership extends to your time and energy. You decide what deserves your focus. You choose how you spend your days. If you want to reach a goal, you arrange your priorities to support it. No one else will guard your time or push you to stay consistent. That responsibility falls on you. When distractions come, you say no. When excuses arise, you say yes to your commitment. This is the daily work that builds results. It's important to recognize that ownership also means learning from feedback. Sometimes you will hear criticism. Sometimes others will point out your weaknesses or mistakes. Owning your path means being open to this input without letting it shake your confidence. It means separating the message from the messenger and using the information to grow. Defensive reactions slow progress. Openness accelerates it. Another key aspect is embracing the consequences of your actions. Every choice you make has results. When you own your steps, you don't shy away from the consequences, good or bad. Instead, you accept them as part of your journey. You learn from what happened, adjust your plan, and keep going. This acceptance builds resilience and self-trust. Taking ownership also means being proactive. It's not waiting for opportunities to come knocking. It's creating your own doors even if they seem small or uncertain. It's reaching out, asking for help, seeking knowledge, and taking initiative. Ownership means you don't sit on the sidelines hoping for luck. You get into the game and play to win. This mindset shifts how you handle challenges. Instead of looking for shortcuts or quick fixes, you focus on solutions. You ask, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Rather than, why is this happening to me? This simple change in language puts you back in control and opens your mind to possibilities. Full ownership also involves surrounding yourself with people who support your growth, but don't rescue you. It means asking for advice when needed, but ultimately making your own decisions. You listen to guidance, weigh options, and then choose your path. You don't let others carry your burden or make choices for you. This is your journey, and only you can live it. When you take responsibility for every step, you build confidence. Confidence isn't about never failing, it's about knowing you can handle whatever comes your way because you own your decisions and actions. This inner strength grows with each choice you make, each challenge you face head-on, and each lesson you learn. It also means celebrating your wins without arrogance. Recognizing your progress fuels your motivation. When you take credit for your efforts, you reinforce your commitment. It's a positive cycle. You own your success, which builds more success. On the flip side, you learn not to depend on external validation. Ownership teaches you that your worth isn't tied to others' opinions, but to your own integrity and effort. This freedom lets you focus on what truly matters, not on pleasing everyone else. One of the most powerful outcomes of taking full ownership is that it makes you unstoppable. When you know that you are the captain of your ship, you don't get lost in storms. You steer through them, adjusting the sails as needed. You stop blaming the weather and start mastering your navigation. That's how leaders are made, by owning their path completely. This ownership also helps you set clear boundaries. You learn to protect your time, energy, and focus from distractions and negativity. You say no to things that don't align with your goals, and yes to what fuels your growth. This clarity helps you stay on track and avoid burnout. Ultimately, owning every step means committing to a life of purpose and intention. It means waking up each day, ready to make choices that align with your dreams. It means being honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to go. It means showing up, not waiting for permission or perfect conditions. Your journey is your responsibility. The successes, the failures, the growth, all of it depends on how deeply you own your actions. The power isn't in luck or circumstance, it's in your hand. When you decide to fully own every step you take, you step into your true potential, and once you do, there's no limit to what you can build. Chapter 4. Stay consistent, even when motivation fades away. There is a truth that many people don't want to admit. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you're fired up, ready to conquer the world. The next day, that fire feels like a flicker, barely enough to light a candle. If you wait for motivation to keep pushing you forward, you will find yourself stuck more times than you succeed. The key to lasting success isn't motivation, it's consistency, the ability to show up, do the work, and keep moving forward even when the excitement fades. When motivation disappears, your discipline steps in. Discipline is the muscle that carries you when feelings fail. It doesn't wait for you to feel inspired. It doesn't ask, do you feel like it today? It simply says, this is what needs to be done. And it gets it done. That's why building consistency is a commitment to yourself that goes beyond emotions. It's a choice to keep going, no matter how you feel. It's normal to feel tired or discouraged. Everyone does. Success isn't a straight line. There will be days when doubts creep in, when distractions pull you away, and when the world seems heavier. Those are the moments that test your commitment. But remember, every time you push through those days, you're not just working on your goals, you're training your mind to be stronger, more resilient, and less dependent on fleeting feelings. A big mistake is to rely on motivation as the main driver. Motivation is like fuel for a car, but the engine is your habit and discipline. If you have a strong engine, you won't stall when the fuel runs low. The best way to stay consistent is to build systems that don't rely on how you feel. You prepare your environment, your schedule, and your mind so that the right actions happen naturally. One way to keep consistency alive is to focus on the process, not just the result. When you tie your happiness or sense of achievement only to reaching the goal, you set yourself up for frustration. But when you find satisfaction in the daily actions, the work, the learning, the small improvements, you create a sustainable rhythm. Each step forward becomes its own reward, and you begin to enjoy the journey instead of just waiting for the destination. It's also crucial to be realistic with your expectations. Some days you might only manage a little, and that's okay. Consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means persistence, showing up even when you can't give your best effort. Remember, a small step forward is better than no step at all. Over time, those small steps add up in ways you can't see immediately, but will notice clearly down the road. Building routines that support your goals is a powerful way to maintain consistency. When your actions become habits, they require less mental energy and become automatic. For example, deciding to work on your goals at the same time every day creates a rhythm. Your brain starts expecting it, and resistance decreases. This reduces the need for motivation because the action becomes part of who you are. Another important aspect is accountability. When you make your goals known to others, you create external pressure to stay consistent. Sharing your progress with a friend, mentor, or community adds a layer of commitment. You're not just accountable to yourself anymore. This support system can encourage you to keep going, especially when your motivation wanes. Sometimes, motivation fades because you lose sight of why you started. That's why reconnecting with your purpose is essential. Remind yourself why your goal matters. Visualize the impact it will have on your life and the lives of those around you. Purpose fuels persistence. When the reason behind your actions is clear and meaningful, you're more likely to keep going through tough days. It helps to break down big goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Large goals can feel overwhelming and drain your energy, but when you focus on the next small action, you make progress without pressure. Completing these smaller tasks creates a sense of achievement that encourages you to continue. This approach keeps your momentum alive, even when motivation feels absent. It's also vital to take care of your energy. Consistency is easier when your body and mind are healthy. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and breaks aren't optional. They're necessary. When you're physically and mentally well, you have more strength to push through challenges. Neglecting these areas makes staying consistent much harder, because your willpower weakens. On days when motivation disappears completely, have a plan ready. Know exactly what small action you can do that requires minimal effort but keeps you moving. It could be writing a single sentence, reading one page, or doing 5 minutes of exercise. These tiny actions might seem insignificant, but they keep the door open for momentum. Often, starting is the hardest part, and once you begin, you find energy to keep going. It's important to recognize progress, even when it's slow. Celebrating small wins reinforces your commitment and builds positive feelings around your efforts. When you acknowledge that you're moving forward, you create encouragement for yourself. This positive reinforcement can become a source of motivation when natural motivation is low. Resilience grows with consistency. The more you practice showing up despite challenges, the more you develop a mindset that expects obstacles and welcomes them as part of the process. This mindset shift helps you remain steady and focused, no matter what external circumstances arise. Sometimes, External circumstances change, and you need to adjust your approach without giving up. Flexibility is part of consistency. If a certain routine or method isn't working, try a new one. Consistency doesn't mean rigidity. It means steady effort towards your goal, even if the path changes. Avoid waiting for the perfect moment. There will always be distractions, fatigue or doubts. Waiting for ideal conditions only delays progress. Start where you are, with what you have. Consistency is built in imperfect conditions, not perfect ones. The commitment to move forward despite challenges is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Your mindset plays a crucial role. When you commit to consistency, you train your mind to value effort over outcome. You learn to appreciate the discipline of showing up, regardless of the results today. This mindset removes the emotional weight of success or failure and replaces it with the idea of growth through action. Remember, success is rarely about giant leaps. It's about the small, steady steps taken day after day. Those who win are the ones who don't quit when motivation fades. They rely on their systems, habits, and discipline. They understand that the real power lies in the consistency of their action. In the end, the decision to stay consistent is a decision to respect yourself and your dreams. It's saying that your goals are worth the effort, even when it's hard, boring, or frustrating. That commitment is the foundation for anything meaningful in life. So when motivation slips away, and it will, hold on to consistency. Let it be the force that carries you through. Because it's not about how you start or how you feel each day. It's about whether you keep going, keep moving, keep showing up, and in time, the results will come. Chapter 5. Learn from every failure and adjust your path. Failure is something everyone faces, no matter who they are or where they come from. It's part of the journey towards success, not the opposite of it. The problem is, most people see failure as a stop sign, something that means they should give up, that they're not good enough, or that the goal isn't meant for them. But failure isn't a dead end. It's a signal, a lesson, a moment to pause and learn. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies in how they handle failure. When you experience failure, the natural response might be to feel discouraged or defeated. That's normal. It's okay to feel those emotions because they show you care. But the key is not to stay stuck in those feelings. You have to move from feeling to thinking. You have to analyze what happened without judgment or blame. Look at the facts clearly. What caused the failure? What was in your control? What wasn't? This honest assessment is where learning begins. Failing doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you tried something that didn't work the way you hoped. And that's valuable information. Instead of seeing failure as a personal attack, see it as feedback. It's telling you this path or method needs adjustment. That feedback is a gift, if you're willing to accept it. One of the most important things about failure is to avoid repeating the same mistakes. This means reflection has to be specific. It's not enough to say, I failed because it was too hard. Instead, get precise. Did you lack preparation? Did you ignore important advice? Did you rush the process? Pinpointing the exact reasons allows you to make clear changes for next time. Adapting your path after failure is where growth happens. The ability to adjust shows strength, not weakness. It means you're flexible and open to improvement. When one approach doesn't work, find another. If a plan fails, rewrite it. If a strategy falls short, try a new one. This process of trial and error is essential for progress. The best results often come after multiple attempts. Learning from failure also requires humility. You have to be willing to admit where you went wrong. That can be difficult because it challenges your ego and pride. But humility opens the door to wisdom. When you accept that you don't have all the answers, you create space to learn from experience and from others. This mindset is crucial for long-term success. At the same time, it's important not to let failure define your identity. You are not your failures, they are events, not labels. You're a person with potential, vision, and the ability to keep going. Holding on to this belief gives you the courage to keep stepping forward even after setbacks. Sometimes failure feels personal because you put so much of yourself into your work or dreams. That connection can make it painful, but separating your self-worth from your results helps you recover faster. It also helps you stay objective, so you can see clearly what needs to change. Remember that failure often provides unexpected opportunities. When one door closes, another opens. Sometimes the things you learn from failure lead you to better ideas, stronger strategies, or new paths you hadn't considered. Keeping an open mind allows you to discover these possibilities instead of getting stuck on what went wrong. It's also valuable to seek feedback from others after a failure. Honest input from mentors, peers, or trusted friends can provide new perspectives you might miss. They can help you identify blind spots or suggest different approaches. This external insight can accelerate your learning and adjustment process. Taking time to process failure is necessary, but it should not turn into procrastination. Reflection should be balanced with action. After analyzing what happened, set a clear plan for your next move. Make small, manageable changes and test them. This iterative approach lets you learn quickly and keep momentum. A key to learning from failure is patience. Progress rarely happens instantly. Some adjustments take time to show results. It's easy to get frustrated and want to give up when changes don't produce immediate success. But persistence through these periods is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who quit. The process of learning from failure also builds resilience. Each time you face a setback, analyze it and adjust. You strengthen your ability to handle future challenges. You become less afraid of failure because you understand it's part of growth. This resilience helps you stay committed even when the path gets tough. It's important to cultivate a mindset that views failure as a natural and necessary step in the journey. When this belief becomes part of who you are, setbacks don't shake you. Instead, they fuel your determination to improve. You stop fearing failure and start embracing it as a teacher. Some of the most successful people have stories filled with failure. Their achievements are not because they avoided mistakes, but because they kept learning and adapting. Their failures weren't signs to quit. They were signals to try different ways and keep pushing forward. Adjusting your path doesn't mean abandoning your goals. It means being smart about how you reach them. If one route isn't working, find another. If your strategy needs tweaking, tweak it. Being rigid or stubborn in the face of failure only prolongs struggle. Flexibility and willingness to change accelerate progress. It also helps to remember that not all failures are equal. Some are minor setbacks, others might require bigger shifts. Recognizing the scale of the failure helps you respond appropriately. Sometimes a small change is enough. Sometimes you need to rethink your entire approach. Learning from failure builds wisdom that no success alone can teach. It teaches you about your limits and strength. It teaches you about the realities of your goals, and it teaches you about patience and perseverance. These lessons shape you into someone capable of sustaining success over the long run. Failure also sharpens your problem-solving skills. It forces you to think critically, evaluate options, and get creative. These skills are valuable beyond any single goal. They prepare you for future challenges and opportunities in all areas of life. When you adjust your path based on what failure teaches you, you take control of your future. You're no longer a passive victim of circumstances, but an active creator of your destiny. This proactive stance empowers you and builds confidence. To maximize learning from failure, keep a record of your experiences. Write down what happened, what you learned, and what changes you plan to make. Reviewing this over time helps you track your growth and avoid repeating mistakes. Finally, understand that failure and success are not opposites. They're partners on the same journey. Success without failure is rare because failure often provides the foundation for deeper understanding and stronger achievements. Embracing this truth opens the door to growth and eventual success. In every failure lies the opportunity to become wiser, stronger, and better equipped for the path ahead. The choice is yours. Let failure stop you, or let it teach you. When you learn and adjust, failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. And that's how real success is built. One lesson, one adjustment, one step at a time. Chapter 6. Surround yourself with people who push you forward. The people around you play a bigger role in your success than most realize. Your friends, colleagues, mentors, and even casual acquaintances create the environment where your habits grow or wither. If you want to move forward in life, you need to be surrounded by people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to become better. This isn't about popularity or having a big social circle. It's about quality, about being close to those who encourage growth and hold you accountable. When you spend time with people who believe in growth and effort, you start adopting their mindset. Their energy, their habits, and their attitudes influence you deeply. This happens naturally. We absorb what's around us like a sponge. So if the people near you settle for less or complain often, their negativity will pull you down without you even noticing. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with those who push themselves and encourage you to do the same, you'll find yourself rising with them. It's important to find people who speak honestly to you, not those who just tell you what you want to hear, but those who give real feedback. Constructive criticism is a gift. It helps you see blind spots and improve. People who push you forward don't let you stay comfortable in mediocrity. They challenge you because they see your potential and want you to reach it. Accountability is another key benefit of the right company. When you share your goals with others who care about your progress, you create a natural pressure to follow through. This doesn't mean they pressure you in a negative way, but they remind you why you started and encourage you when you want to quit. Having people to celebrate your wins with makes success sweeter and motivates you to keep going. Sometimes you need people who have already walked the path you're on. Their experience becomes a roadmap. They can warn you of pitfalls and guide you toward better choices. Mentors like this save you time and mistakes. But the relationship must be based on mutual respect and openness. You must be willing to listen and learn, and they must be willing to invest in your growth. Not every relationship will be easy or comfortable. Growth often requires tough conversations and honesty. That's why it's critical to be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. Avoid those who drain your energy or encourage excuses. Their influence can be toxic, even if they mean well. It's hard to rise when you're constantly weighed down by negativity or doubt from others. Positive peer pressure is powerful. When you see others working hard, learning and improving, you naturally want to do the same. It's human nature to mirror the actions of those around us. That's why it's easier to stay consistent and focused if you're part of a group with high standards and shared goals. Being around driven people also expands your vision. They expose you to new ideas, perspectives, and possibilities you might not have considered. Their success can inspire you to dream bigger and work smarter. This exposure broadens your horizons and fuels your motivation. Sometimes, the people who push you forward will be tough love kind of people. They won't sugarcoat your mistakes or let you slide when you're off track. Their intention is not to discourage, but to help you grow. Being open to this kind of support is vital. It means setting your ego aside and trusting that these people want what's best for you. Support goes both ways. If you want people who push you forward, you must be that kind of person too. You have to add value, encourage, and challenge others. Growth thrives in communities where everyone lifts each other up. This reciprocal energy creates momentum that carries everyone forward. It's also important to recognize that growth relationships don't have to be limited to close friends. You can learn from colleagues, coaches, authors, or even people you follow online. The key is to surround yourself with voices and influences that encourage progress and resilience. In some cases, you might need to distance yourself from people who hold you back. This is a difficult but necessary step. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve your growth creates space for new connections. It's not about cutting people off cruelly, but about protecting your own journey. When you build a network of people who push you forward, you create a support system for both the highs and lows. Success isn't a solo journey. It requires encouragement during challenges and celebration during wins. Having this network means you don't have to carry the burden alone. Being part of a group focused on growth also increases your accountability naturally. You don't want to let down those who believe in you. This shared commitment strengthens your discipline and focus. You find yourself working harder, not just for yourself, but for the people who have invested in you. It's valuable to regularly evaluate your circle. Ask yourself if the people around you inspire you to grow or keep you stuck. This self-reflection helps you make intentional choices about your environment. Surrounding yourself with the right people is a constant process, not a one-time decision. The energy in your social environment affects your mindset. Positive, growth-oriented people encourage optimism and resilience. They remind you of your strengths and push you to overcome weaknesses. This atmosphere helps you bounce back from setbacks more quickly and maintain your focus. Sometimes, the people who push you forward are those who don't necessarily agree with everything you do. They challenge your thinking and force you to defend your choices. This kind of healthy challenge sharpens your decision-making and builds confidence. Choosing to surround yourself with people who push you forward is one of the most strategic moves you can make for your personal and professional life. It creates a foundation where success becomes not just possible, but likely. The influence of others is a powerful force. Use it wisely. In the end, you become the average of the people you spend the most time with. That means your environment can either lift you to new heights or hold you back. Be intentional about who you invite into your life. Choose those who inspire action, support your growth, and hold you accountable. When you do, you create a community where success is the natural outcome. Chapter 7. Invest time in skills that multiply your value. When it comes to building success, the single most important thing you can do is invest time in skills that increase your value. This isn't just about learning something new once and forgetting it. It's about focusing your effort on abilities that multiply your opportunities, income, and influence over time. Skills that don't just add to what you know, but grow exponentially in importance as you apply them. These are the skills that separate those who move ahead from those who remain stuck. Think about it this way: time is limited. Every hour you spend can either build your value or cost you progress. The best investment you can make is in yourself, specifically in skills that open doors and create possibilities. When you learn a skill that people need and are willing to pay for, you become more valuable in any situation. That skill becomes a tool you can use again and again, expanding your reach and impact. Not all skills are created equal. Some fade quickly or become outdated. Others require constant maintenance and learning to stay relevant. Focus on skills that are durable, those that stand the test of time and can be adapted to new challenges. Communication is a perfect example. No matter how technology changes, the ability to clearly express ideas, persuade and connect with others is always in demand. Learning to speak well, listen deeply, and write effectively pays off endlessly. Another powerful skill to invest in is problem solving. Being able to look at situations identify what's wrong, and figure out practical solutions sets you apart. Problem solvers are needed everywhere: business, relationships, communities. Developing this skill means you're not just waiting for others to fix things, you become the person who makes things happen. This creates trust and opens doors for new opportunities. Time management and self-discipline are also invaluable. The ability to organize your time, prioritize tasks, and stay focused is a skill that directly affects productivity. People who master this don't just get more done, they get the right things done. When you control your time well, you can invest more hours into learning other skills, working toward your goals, and creating value. Another skill that multiplies value is the ability to learn quickly. The world changes fast. New tools, ideas, and methods appear constantly. Being adaptable and able to pick up new skills quickly gives you a huge advantage. This means developing curiosity, staying humble, and being open to continuous growth. When you become a lifelong learner, you keep your value rising because you're always improving. Networking and relationship building are skills that multiply your influence. Success rarely happens alone. Knowing how to connect with others, build trust, and maintain meaningful relationships increases your reach. The people you know and the relationships you cultivate often open doors that skill alone cannot. Investing time in developing genuine connections expands your opportunities exponentially. Financial literacy is another essential skill. Understanding how money works, how to save, invest, and manage resources wisely impacts your ability to grow wealth. People who develop financial skills gain control over their future. They can make informed decisions, avoid unnecessary risks, and create systems that grow their assets. This skill multiplies your value because it lets you use your resources more effectively. Leadership is a skill that magnifies your impact beyond yourself. When you can inspire, guide, and motivate others, your influence grows. Leadership isn't just for bosses or managers. It's about taking responsibility, setting an example, and helping others succeed. Developing leadership skills increases your ability to create change and build teams, which in turn multiplies your results. Investing time in teaching or sharing knowledge also multiplies your value. When you help others learn and grow, you expand your influence. Teaching forces you to understand things deeply, and it creates connections that build trust and respect. Sharing your skills can lead to opportunities you never imagined. Technical skills related to your field can also boost your value significantly. Whether it's mastering software, understanding data, or developing craftsmanship, these skills make you more effective and in demand. But remember, technical skills alone are not enough. Combine them with communication, problem solving, and leadership to maximize their impact. The key is to choose skills that align with your goals and passions. Learning becomes more natural and sustainable when it connects to what you care about. Forced or unrelated learning often leads to burnout or abandonment. Focus on skills that excite you and that you can apply in real ways. Building these skills requires deliberate practice. You can't just read about them once or watch a video. You have to do the work repeatedly, face challenges, and refine your approach. This process builds mastery over time. Consistency in practicing skills is what turns knowledge into power. Don't be afraid to invest time in learning, even if it means delaying other activities. The returns on skill development come later but last much longer. Skills are assets that grow with use. They compound over time, multiplying your income, opportunities, and influence. Seek mentors and resources that can accelerate your learning. Trying to figure everything out alone slows progress. Learning from those who have already succeeded saves time and mistakes. Quality instruction and feedback are critical to growing your skills effectively. Measuring progress in your skill development keeps you motivated and focused. Set clear goals for what you want to achieve and track your improvements. Celebrate milestones, no matter how small, because they build momentum. Investing time in skills that multiply your value also means knowing when to stop or pivot. Not every skill will be worth the effort forever. Some become less relevant or don't fit your changing goals. Be willing to reassess and shift your focus to skills that better serve your path. Balance is important too. While it's tempting to master many things at once, focusing deeply on a few high-impact skills is often more effective. Depth creates expertise, which is more valuable than superficial knowledge of many areas. As you develop valuable skills, remember to apply them consistently. Skill without action doesn't create results. Use your abilities to solve problems, create opportunities, and help others. The more you use your skills, the more confident and capable you become. When you commit to growing your skills strategically, you increase your independence. You become less reliant on luck, others' approval, or unstable circumstances. Your skills become your security, your leverage, and your freedom. Ultimately, investing time in skills that multiply your value is one of the smartest decisions you can make. It transforms you from someone who hopes for success into someone who builds it. Skills become the foundation upon which all your achievements rest. They give you options, power, and confidence. The journey to mastering valuable skills is ongoing. There's always more to learn, refine, and improve. Embrace this journey with patience and persistence. Each hour invested brings you closer to the person you want to be and the life you want to create. By focusing on skills that multiply your value, you take control of your future. You create a cycle where your efforts produce increasing return. This is how success grows, not by chance, but by choice. Chapter 8. Set clear goals and track your progress daily. Setting clear goals and tracking your progress every day is one of the most powerful tools you have to create success. Without clear goals, it's easy to drift through life without a real sense of direction. You might work hard, but hard work without focus often leads nowhere meaningful. Goals give you a target to aim for. They focus your energy and guide your decisions. When your goals are clear, you know exactly what you're working toward, which helps you stay motivated and intentional. A clear goal is specific and measurable. Saying "I want to be successful" is too vague. What does success look like? How will you know when you reach it? Clear goals answer these questions. For example, instead of a general goal, you might say, "I want to increase my income by 20% in the next 6 months," or "I want to complete a course in digital marketing within 3 months." This kind of clarity helps you see progress and keeps you accountable. Once you set your goals, the next step is to break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but when you divide them into daily or weekly actions, they become achievable. These smaller tasks are your daily stepping stones. They turn your big dreams into concrete actions you can take right now. This approach prevents procrastination because you're always focused on what to do next. Tracking your progress daily is essential. It keeps your goals alive in your mind and shows you how far you've come. Each day you review your progress, you reinforce your commitment. It's a simple habit that builds momentum. When you see even small improvements, it fuels your motivation to continue. On the other hand, if you notice you're falling behind, tracking lets you catch it early and adjust your plan. There are many ways to track progress. Some people use journals, others prefer apps or spreadsheets. The tool is less important than the habit of checking in regularly. The key is honesty. Be truthful about what you accomplished and what you missed. This honesty helps you learn and improve, rather than making excuses or ignoring problems. Tracking also reveals patterns. You might notice certain times of day when you're more productive, or identify distractions that slow you down. These insights help you optimize your routine and environment. Without tracking, these valuable lessons often go unnoticed. Setting clear goals and tracking daily progress also helps you prioritize. When your goals are clear, you can evaluate tasks and activities based on how much they move you forward. This prevents wasting time on low-value activities that don't align with your objectives. Prioritizing creates focus, and focus creates results. One important factor is to set realistic goals. Ambition is good, but goals that are too big or unrealistic can discourage you. Setting achievable milestones allows you to celebrate progress and build confidence. It's better to reach smaller goals consistently than to fail chasing unreachable targets. Flexibility matters as well. Sometimes goals need to be adjusted as circumstances change. Tracking progress helps you recognize when a goal might need tweaking. This doesn't mean giving up, it means being smart and adaptive. Adjustments keep you aligned with your ultimate vision while responding to reality. Daily goal tracking also builds discipline. It creates a routine where you regularly review, plan, and take action. This discipline strengthens your ability to stay committed over time, even when motivation wanes. It turns goal achievement into a habit, not a one-time event. The emotional benefits of setting clear goals and tracking them daily are significant. Knowing where you're going reduces anxiety and increases confidence. You feel more in control of your life. Each small success builds pride and momentum. This positive cycle encourages you to keep pushing forward. When you share your goals and progress with someone you trust, it adds an extra layer of accountability. Others can encourage you, offer advice, and celebrate with you. This support makes the journey less lonely and more enjoyable. Setting clear goals also means connecting them to your deeper values and purpose. When your goals resonate with what truly matters to you, you feel more motivated and persistent. It's easier to overcome obstacles when you know why you're working so hard. Tracking daily progress forces you to confront reality. It's easy to daydream about success, but real progress comes from honest reflection and action. This honesty builds self-awareness, helping you understand your strengths, weaknesses, and habits. Clear goals give you a framework for decision-making. When faced with choices, you can ask yourself which option moves you closer to your goal. This clarity reduces confusion and helps you make better decisions faster. Sometimes progress might be slow or hard to see. That's where patience is key. Daily tracking reminds you that even small steps add up over time. Consistent effort, no matter how small, leads to big results. Celebrating milestones is important too. When you reach a goal or complete a task, take time to acknowledge your achievement. This reinforces your commitment and boosts morale. Finally, setting clear goals and tracking your progress daily turns dreams into reality. It's a simple yet powerful system that keeps you focused, motivated, and on track. It transforms vague intentions into concrete actions and measurable results. The discipline of daily tracking creates a momentum that carries you forward, even when the road gets tough. When this habit becomes part of your life, success stops being a hope and becomes a certainty. Chapter 9. Be willing to start small and stay patient. Starting small is where all great journeys begin. It's a lesson that many overlook because they're eager to achieve big results quickly. But the truth is, success is built one small step at a time. There is no shortcut around this. Being willing to start small means accepting where you are right now and using what you have to move forward. It's about planting seeds that will grow into something bigger over time. When you start small, you reduce the pressure on yourself. Sometimes, the thought of a huge goal can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing. It's natural to want to do everything at once, but that often leads to burnout or quitting. Breaking your goals into smaller pieces allows you to focus on manageable actions that build confidence and momentum. Each small success becomes proof that you are capable of progress. Patience is closely tied to starting small. Many want immediate results and get discouraged when they don't see big changes quickly. But lasting success rarely happens overnight. It requires time, effort, and persistence. Being patient means trusting the process, even when the results are not yet visible. It means understanding that growth often happens beneath the surface before it shows up in the outside world. Patience is a strength, not a weakness. It's the ability to stay steady, to keep working without immediate rewards. This quality distinguishes those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. Patience allows you to stay committed even when progress is slow or setbacks occur. It keeps you from rushing and making mistakes that come from frustration or impatience. Starting small also allows you to learn and adapt. When you take tiny steps, you can test your approach and make changes before investing too much time or energy. This reduces risk and improves your chances of success. It's a way to build your confidence gradually while refining your methods. Small beginnings teach humility. They remind you that no one starts as an expert. Everyone has to learn and grow. Embracing this reality makes it easier to stay motivated and avoid discouragement. When you accept that mastery takes time, you become more willing to put in consistent effort. Another benefit of starting small is that it builds habits. Success depends on repeated actions over time. When you begin with small, manageable tasks, you create routines that become automatic. These habits carry you forward, even when motivation fades. Over time, these tiny actions accumulate into significant progress. Patience also helps you maintain perspective. It reminds you that setbacks and delays are part of the journey, not signs of failure. When you are patient, you can weather tough times without losing faith. This resilience is crucial for staying on track through challenges. It's important to celebrate small wins along the way. Each step forward deserves recognition because it brings you closer to your goals. Celebrating progress boosts your confidence and reinforces positive habits. It creates a cycle of motivation that supports long-term commitment. Starting small doesn't mean thinking small. It means being realistic and strategic about how you approach your goals. It's about focusing on what you can do today, not worrying about everything at once. This focus makes your efforts more effective and sustainable. Patience combined with starting small creates a powerful mindset. It allows you to focus on the journey rather than just the destination. This mindset reduces anxiety and stress because you're not constantly chasing instant results. Instead, you trust that steady progress will lead to success. Sometimes, impatience leads people to quit just before a breakthrough. This is one of the biggest obstacles to success. When you learn to be patient and start small, you build the endurance needed to push through difficult times and reach your goals. It's also helpful to remind yourself that growth often happens invisibly. Just like a seed grows underground before sprouting, your efforts build strength and skill before the results appear. Patience gives you the courage to keep going during this unseen phase. Being willing to start small also means embracing the beginner's mindset. You accept that you don't know everything and that making mistakes is part of learning. This openness makes you more adaptable and willing to seek help or new information. Small beginnings provide opportunities for creativity. When you work within limited resources or experience, you find innovative ways to solve problems. This creativity enhances your ability to overcome obstacles and accelerates your growth. Patience and starting small go hand in hand with consistency. When you show up regularly, even with small actions, you build momentum. Momentum is the force that carries you forward and makes progress easier over time. It's important to set realistic expectations for your pace of growth. Not everyone moves at the same speed, and that's okay. Comparing yourself to others only creates frustration. Focus on your own path and honor the progress you make each day. The journey of starting small and staying patient teaches valuable life lessons. It builds character, perseverance, and wisdom. These qualities serve you well beyond any single goal. Sometimes, it helps to remind yourself why you started. Keeping your purpose in mind strengthens your patience and commitment. When your why is strong, you're more willing to endure delays and challenges. Starting small also makes your goals less intimidating. When you focus on just the next step, the path becomes clearer and easier to follow. This clarity reduces overwhelm and builds confidence. Patience protects you from impulsive decisions that can derail your progress. It gives you the space to think carefully and act wisely. This thoughtful approach leads to better outcomes. Recognize that every expert was once a beginner who started small. Mastery is the result of years of effort, learning, and patience. Embracing this truth helps you stay humble and motivated. Small, consistent actions build a foundation that supports bigger achievements. Without this foundation, quick wins are often short-lived. Patience ensures that your success is sustainable and meaningful. Finally, remember that success is a marathon, not a sprint. Starting small and staying patient is how you run that marathon well. It's how you conserve energy, stay focused, and cross the finish line strong. By embracing small beginnings and cultivating patience, you create the conditions for lasting success. You develop resilience, wisdom, and strength that no shortcut can provide. This approach honors the natural rhythm of growth and leads to results that truly last. Chapter 10. Keep building even when no one claps yet. There will be times on your journey when you give your best effort and no one notices. No applause, no recognition, no immediate reward. That moment can feel discouraging, like you're working in silence with nothing to show for it. But this is one of the most important lessons in success. Keep building even when no one claps yet. True progress often happens in the quiet, behind the scenes, long before anyone acknowledges your work. It's easy to want validation from others. Praise feels good because it confirms that you're on the right path. But waiting for applause can trap you in a cycle of doubt and frustration. Success isn't about instant recognition. It's about persistence and faith in your own effort, even when it feels invisible. The people who achieve lasting success understand this well. When you keep building without applause, you develop inner strength. You learn to rely on your own belief, not on external approval. This self-reliance is a cornerstone of true achievement. It means you don't give up because of silence or lack of recognition. You push forward because you know the value of what you're creating. Often the work you do now sets the foundation for future success. These early stages might seem unimportant or unnoticed, but they are critical. The skills you develop, the habits you form, and the small wins you accumulate prepare you for bigger opportunities. Without this groundwork, applause later on will be shallow and short-lived. When no one claps yet, it's easy to question your path or your abilities. That doubt is normal. The key is not to let it stop you. Instead, use it as a chance to refocus on your purpose. Remember why you started. This connection to your deeper goals fuels your motivation and helps you keep going. Building without immediate recognition also teaches patience. It forces you to trust the process rather than chase quick results. Patience is not passive, it's active perseverance. It means showing up every day, putting in the work, and knowing that your efforts will compound over time. Another benefit of continuing when no one claps is that you avoid distractions. Sometimes applause or early success can create pressure to perform or change course. Without that noise, you stay focused on your true path. You learn what matters most without being swayed by others' opinions. This silent phase of growth also sharpens your resilience. When you work hard without external rewards, you develop a mindset that isn't dependent on praise. You become tougher and more committed. This resilience carries you through setbacks and challenges because it's rooted in your own conviction. It's important to cultivate a vision bigger than applause. When your goals are tied to your values and purpose, external recognition becomes less critical. You focus on making progress, learning and improving. This intrinsic motivation sustains you through quiet times. Sometimes, the applause never comes in the way you expect. Recognition might be delayed, or it might come from unexpected sources. When you keep building, you open yourself to these opportunities. Your consistent effort makes you ready to seize them when they arrive. Avoid comparing your journey to others who seem to get recognition quickly. Their timeline is not your timeline. Comparing only steals your joy and distracts you from your own work. Focus on your own progress, no matter how slow or unnoticed it seems. Keeping your head down and building quietly requires discipline. It means setting goals, making plans, and executing without needing external validation. This discipline grows your confidence because it's based on what you do, not what others say. When you keep building even when no one claps, you also inspire others quietly. Your work may influence people without their direct acknowledgement. Sometimes your example encourages friends, family, or colleagues in ways you don't see. This unseen impact is powerful. Celebrate your own progress, even if others don't. Recognizing your achievements keeps your motivation alive. It reinforces your commitment and reminds you that your effort matters. Self-celebration is a form of respect for your own journey. There will be times when you feel lonely in your work. This is natural when applause is absent. Building a support system of like-minded individuals or mentors can help you stay connected and encouraged. Sharing your journey with others who understand keeps you grounded. Keep in mind that many successful people started with long periods of silence. Their breakthroughs came after years of effort that went unnoticed. Their stories remind us that applause is often the result of persistence, not the cause of it. This phase of quiet building is also a time for reflection and refinement. Use the silence to evaluate your approach and improve your skills. Experiment, learn from mistakes, and adapt. This work prepares you for the moments when your efforts will be recognized. Keeping your focus on growth rather than applause helps you avoid shortcuts or compromises. You maintain integrity and quality in your work. This authenticity eventually attracts the right recognition and opportunities. The habit of building when no one claps builds character. It teaches you humility, patience, and perseverance. These qualities are essential for lasting success and fulfillment. It's helpful to visualize your long-term vision regularly during quiet phases. This practice keeps your purpose clear and your spirit motivated. Visualization reminds you that the applause is coming, even if it's not here yet. Understanding that applause often comes after consistent effort changes your relationship with recognition. You stop chasing applause and start earning it. This mindset shift is empowering and freeing. Continuing to build in silence also means embracing uncertainty. You might not know exactly when or how your work will be acknowledged. Learning to be comfortable with this uncertainty develops courage and flexibility. When the applause finally arrives, it feels more rewarding because you've earned it through perseverance. The journey behind the scenes makes the recognition meaningful and lasting. Remember that applause is temporary, but the skills, habits, and character you build are permanent. Focus on creating a foundation that supports your success long after the cheers fade. Choosing to keep building without applause is a decision to trust yourself and your process. It's a commitment to long-term growth over short-term validation. This choice shapes you into a person capable of great achievement. By continuing your work even when no one claps, you demonstrate faith in your potential. You develop resilience that prepares you for the challenges ahead, and you build a legacy that goes beyond applause. This quiet persistence is the true mark of those who build success that lasts. It's a powerful reminder that the real reward lies in the journey itself, not just in the recognition. When you keep building in silence, you're laying the groundwork for applause that will one day come, and it will be well deserved.